our brand new graphic that we've got. Maybe it's a little bit too big. We need to be able to see the times. Alright, so Caitlyn banned out. Ivern banned out. Mel banned here. Nico banned. These teams are very quick in how they're running through these bans. Smolder banned out. It seems like the preparation from these teams at this point, week 3 in the season, there's no mucking around anymore. Get right down to it. Get ready to go. Alright. Rakan is the hover here. We'll see if it does come through, and it does. So a couple of, I believe these are support bans targeted at Chestnut. Meanwhile, pretty even spread here. Mel and Smolder, as well as the Ivern. The Ivern, pretty iconic at this point, being taken away from the Whittle guy. And there's the hover, and there's the lock-in, and we're gonna get an LCC first Shyvana rework in our first game of the evening. Alright, so Shyvana, nobody's had a lot of time on this champion. It just came out less than 24 hours ago. So it's going to be about early adapters and hoping that you know more than the enemy team does. Jarvan here, the first answer. We'll have to see if that's going to be a top lane Jarvan or a jungle Jarvan. As back in Season 2, we did see Hospitalize flex that pick between the two positions. And Xayah here as a takeaway. This is something that we saw Hope play back in Week 1. And it's a pickup here for Inferno on the side of Zon. Solid takeaway there. Also, you know, there is no Rakan at this point. So we'll see what they end up pairing with it down here in the bot lane for Zon. I will say Jarvan is a pretty solid counter for Xayah as well. So Xayah will feel a bit more comfortable playing it, but also less of a chance that Bandle City would have picked it into a Jarvan. Sion here selected for CGYM. Definitely something that we've seen he's got high proficiency on. And Twitch is hovered. This would be a first Twitch. Sivir instead selected for the Buckaroos. And with Sion and Sivir, they've got a solid frontline and scaling AD carry option here. Pretty clear ways forward. Malphite here locked in for the Plague, and that certainly secures that it is going to be Jarvan jungle. In the Sion Malphite matchup, we're going to see a tank top lane matchup. Both Xayah and Sivir have great scaling, so I do think that there's a good chance that if this game goes late, these could be the two champions that, you know, have a necessity to carry for their teams. Nautilus banned out here. Yoni had played it twice, so banning his own support. Does not want to see Nautilus. Aurora taken away from Lowell, the respect ban. I'd really like to see something on the side of Bandle City that they can engage with a Shyvana. I think Sion is on that right path. The Sivir ultimate as well. They do have a lot of abilities to push forward here. And I do worry a little bit about the scaling, or the peel for and protection for Sivir. As another hook champion is banned away here. Both Nautilus and Blitzcrank taken away from Chestnut. Chestnut with the notorious reputation for not missing too often. So 2 of those champs taken away. On the side of the Plague, Jarvan, Xayah, and Malphite. Fantastic team comp for team fighting, they do have the ability to, you know, put them into a corner and blow them up all in one spot. A lot of emphasis on Xayah to peel for herself here. I think the supports for either team will play an impactful role in how these team compositions work out, and Yoni is going to hover the Sona. Sona locked in. This is a Crimson Yoni special here. His most played champion by far. So a solid pickup here. And the Crescendo will add to the Malphite ultimate, right? If Jarvan is able to get multiple into that Cataclysm, the Sona Crescendo coming across along with the Malphite Unstoppable Force, that should guarantee multiple dead. So they just need to try and find that combination as often as they can. Sylas locked in here, and Sylas is a great counter for both Jarvan and Malphite. To be able to take those stats, take that ability, and find engage into the fight. He's a melee champion that loves it to find a way in. Alright, Chestnut will select Leona here. Sivir Leona locked in. And I do think Xayah Sona will have a slight advantage early on, but if Leona's ever able to truly get onto really either the Xayah or the Sona, with the Sivir Boomerang, they do have the kill threat here, and Talia is locked in for Lowell. So Talia Sylas, this is actually a classic matchup. We've seen this many times. If you enjoy watching Pro, we've seen this matchup many times. And so we are about to get into game here as both these teams prepare to get onto the Rift. Who do you guys think won in draft? I'll go. Vandal City Buckaroos facing off against the Zon Plague in our first match of the evening. It looks like Whittle has saved that 50 gold on that potion. So here we are settling in now onto the Rift. I think my audio is too quiet. Lowell with a little trade here. Fennel trying to trade back. I'm just going to fix the sound really quick. Let's bump this up. 69. Hell yeah. Alright. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Alright, so it does look like both of our junglers are starting topside here. TJ looking to try and find his way into this lane. Had a good level 1 last week on Shyvana, but then just really, on Sejuani, but then really did just slow down as the levels came through. CGYM with a nice little trade here, does get the grass proc. So off to a good start for both these laners. Another auto landing for CGYM, already off to a healthy start in this lane. Let's go ahead and take a look at our newest jungler. Pretty low on health here in the jungle, actually. I wonder if that's a trope that we will continue to see as the season goes on. It does look like Fennel forced low here, but Lowell is low as well. They've been trading pretty heavily down here here in the mid lane, and both of our junglers about to cross over. So will we see transition ganks? Does look like Whittle is thinking about it. Lowell with that slight misstep there. Things will just go back as they were. CGYM with a nice find here, has the level advantage, lands a nice full Q, able to get the knockup. A lot of damage came through. Whittle guy looking for this engage here, needs to be able to find a win. But bot lane is on the roam. Whittle trying to find what he can, and it's going to be a first blood as the invade goes the way of the Zon Plague, and that's exactly what we were talking about with Jarvan really liking to early skirmish and early fight. So things going the way of Zon early on that one as Whittle finds one for his team. A great play here for the Zon Plague to go ahead and get them on the board. Flash out from TJ as CGYM topside pushes TJ out of the lane here. Now with the summoner spell advantage and the health advantage despite taking a turret shot there under tower. Nice start here for Vandal City. All right. I think that was a great. That looked like a premeditated thought there from Zahn. Like they knew that they were going to go ahead and do that. CGYM now with the advantage here topside. Will he look for a further play? Just go ahead and hang out topside here. TJ's lane is going to be pushing away from him, so CGYM can go ahead and pull this in. Teleport used mid, and our sexy now spotted on a ward, looking for something, but he's just going to go ahead and queue that reset. Go ahead and get that reset in, as Whittle continues to clear for Zahn. Alright, things pretty stable bot lane. They're just evening out here. Oh, a huge Q will land the... Oh, man, the flash auto would have killed, but then the instant level up coming through. And there's the flash W. The Q is there, and they trade out under tower. CGYM, that's a good death for all of our Matt fans. Definitely a good death. Interesting little trade there as, as we see him continue to push the advantage. Let's take a look at the gold differential. That did get him about 300 gold up. So I think we'll take that every day of the week. Goo death. Alright, Inferno on the reset. We do have to take note of the Cole start here for Inferno. Definitely an interesting start here, and Hope is answered with a Cole of his own. So full-on farm lane committed here. CGYM with a level advantage, level 6 to level 5. Looking for a way in. Fennel, nice trade here onto Lowell, dodging out the seismic shove. Does not find the damage. Whittle here on the hover. What can they actually accomplish? Fennel going to find a way in. It's Cataclysm in, level 6. The flag and drag out will get him away, as nobody else in that fight was level 6. So once Cataclysm went down, it was pretty anticlimactic after that. But that is ultimate use. Chestnut here on the roam. Will they be able to find Whittle Guy as the flag and drag comes through? But beautiful Zenith Blade does find him. Whittle Guy may be able to get out as the Weaver's Wall comes through. A nice seismic shove onto, but the boomerang onto Whittle Guy just at the right time. And now Zahn have brought all of their team members here. Fennel low did not come over, and Bandle City will walk out of that fight. Engage, disengaged. That's pretty cool to see. That's got to be one of the longest Zenith Blades ever, as that's a borderline max range E from Chestnut, and the flag and drag from Whittle took him on a bit of a ride there. It's always good as support though, when it feels good to still get to land it, you know. Alright, both these bot laners pretty much just farming it out against each other. And so the earlier Cole bought by Inferno, that is going to pay dividends sooner. 67 to 83 is the countdown there. I don't really expect either of these 80 carries to come online too much until multiple items in. So that could mean that in the team fights, they have a hard time if we get to some early team fights. First Dragon is up, 6.5 minutes in. We've got to see where these junglers decide to go, as both head out topside again, and they will restart their clears. Looks like they'll have full clears ahead of them. CGYM kind of handling TJ up here topside. It's a 20 CS lead already, as Lowell is able to land a seismic shove there. Really nice amount of damage. And we are going to see a play here as Whittle Guy is going to look to make it. It's a unstoppable force comes through. The Scion ultimate to try and get him, but the Cataclysm has to be used here. TJ potentially going to go down as the ultimate in from our Sexy will find a counter kill. So both top laners going down, both junglers there to assist their solo laners, and both top laners 2 and 2 to start our match. The new Shyvana ultimate looking very, telegraphed. We'll see if, what happens as the team fights go on. It definitely has a much longer animation at this point. Inferno and Chestnut, lane partners for the past 2 years, playing against each other for the first time since Season 1. Definitely a lot on the line in terms of bragging rights, but no strangers to each other's gameplay. Pings now from Whittle Onto the Dragon. Fennel with the engage. Onto Lowell, but a nice seismic shove will disengage. The flag and drag, and that is a flash. Flash out. And there's no teleport here, and so that could just be an early advantage as Whittle finds Arsexy. Arsexy able to hard scale in the jungle, now up a level over the Jarvan. And it does look like both junglers will go back to their camps, continue to farm, continue to scale. No items coming through yet for anybody on the map so far. The Dragon is up. We are about to hit 9 minutes. Has not been taken yet. We did see that ping go down topside, but they elected to not engage onto it after getting the flash out of Fennel in the mid lane. Alright. Vision pings down. Lots of vision being placed as the support's back. They have their the part 1 of their support quest finished. So our world atlases are upgraded into actual wards, actual usefulness. Arsexy has snuck through here. They do not know that he's here, and the engage will not miss as Chestnut finds Yoni. A flash out from Yoni, but it won't be enough, and Arsexy picks one up on the board. Beautiful play from Chestnut, and they avoid using their flashes on that engage. Yoni flashing out, but still going down. A nice find there from Bandle City. And Whittle, I don't think Whittle can actually find a way in to this dragon fight. Fennel guarding here very nicely. Inferno on the bottom side of the fight is stuck under tower, and so it is going to be the dragon given over, and a really nice coordinated play as the 4 of the Buckaroos team up. They find the pick, they find the play, and first dragon goes over to Bandle City. Zon and Bandle City staying pretty even in gold here. It's only a couple hundred for either of these teams. Fennel looking for an engage onto Lowell. Seismic shove, but it's the Cataclysm in. And Lowell forced to flash out. The secondary Q as the Cataclysm from Whittle himself will land on Fennel. Fennel very low, but a big heal comes through. Chestnut, the Zenith Blade, the stun onto Lowell. Whittle guy, he's got nothing else, and so he will go down. It's a 1-for-1. Lowell extremely low, but the Buckaroos will not push forward. And so, good answer there from Arsexy and Chestnut, as Fennel does drop, but so does Whittle guy. 4 kills over to either team. These teams only separated by a couple hundred gold, but it is a small advantage here for the Buckaroos. Arsexy with the smite does just go ahead and smite down. TJ doing quite a bit of damage here. Unstoppable force forward, but it will miss, and he will go down. Looks like he was trying to decide what he was going to do there, and ended up making a choice that I think he will look back on and probably regret. So Arsexy able to just bait it out, call for his team. I was actually pretty surprised by the amount of Malphite damage that came through onto Shyvana. Alright, pings from either team down bot side, but there isn't going to be another. Let's pull up the dragons. Isn't going to be another dragon for 3 minutes here, as CGYM is going to push this topside advantage. He's now got a 2-level lead and multiple plates here in this topside matchup. More than 40 CS up at just 12 minutes in, and Whittle not yet on vision. Perhaps one of those melee minions did just roam too far forward, and Whittle spotted out here. Or maybe just they had a second thought about pushing all the way up into tower, as Zaya able to pretty much just full clear any wave that you put in front of her at this point in the game. One of the more consistent AD carries in terms of side lane farming because of her wave clear. Whittle guy is going to go ahead and land that smite, so CGYM trying to get the steal, does steal all the little ones. The Weaver's Wall is going to come through, but it's a flash out from CGYM. Seismic Shove will bring him back, and he's pretty tanky, but he's not tanky enough, and Simon Lowell will get onto the board here with a kill. CGYM just a bit too far, and the collapse from both Jarvan and Talia able to make it happen. Fennel, however, with a big punish here, is going to get 2 plates mid for that roam. And so a nice answer here. Nice spell shield from Hope, able to stop the Feather Pull, the Feather Root. And Inferno cashing in on his coal already. Still 14 more CS on the side of Hope. TJ getting 2 plates top at the expense of Come Get Your Milk's death. Alright, both these teams proving to be pretty equal so far. I think this has, you know, the makeup to be a pretty good game here. 9 farms still for Hope, so he is looking to reset here, but I think he'll really want to wait for that cash in. However, he is just going to channel his back fully, and that means that he won't be able to full buy his next items yet. Xayah and Sona continuing to be able to stay in the lane. Better sustain at this point of the game. And that small advantage that we thought that the Sona would have over Leona in lane, you know, proving to be about 10 farm. And I think that that's an acceptable amount here, as Chestnut has already found two nice plays, one on a roam mid and one on that primary engage on the kill in bot lane. Alright, both junglers with the same scoreline, both mids with a kill and both tops with 2 kills. This game pretty much even everywhere you look. The biggest differential is the gold topside, because TJ has had such a hard time farming in this matchup. He's down over 1,000 gold already. That is where most of that gold advantage lies for the Buckaroos. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here as Fennel trying to find a way in. Whittle Guy definitely separated from his team here, is going to be forced out, and that puts the flag and drag on cooldown. Fennel somewhat frontlining for Bandle City, playing a very frontline Silas. This is teleport down from TJ, so the longer that Bandle City can make this work, the better this is for Bandle City. Alright, they're forcing it here. It's the engage in, but the smite's still away, instantly blown up, and the shutdown given over. So he went for the smite steal. Our Sexy unable to find that steal. And Whittle with a nice secure for the Plague, as the 2 MVPs from the past 2 seasons get to ballot it out directly in front of each other. Here's the crescendo as Fennel was looking for the play in. Flash out from Fennel after a play gone awry. And both Yoni and Inferno having a nice stand-up moment there as they stand and deliver. Ooh, -1. Alright, it does look like Whittle and TJ are going to go ahead and start on Herald here. There are no pings, as CGYM is the only one topside for Bandle City. And so this is not only going to be the Dragon, but they also win the neutral objective of the Herald. CGYM getting a ward down here. 3 levels up on Whittle Guy. Llewell potentially able to find a seismic shove. I'm not sure if they actually want this fight here. Now we're just going to disengage. Alright, Fennel looking for a sneaky play mid. So Chestnut is going to look for the engage here. It is a flash out from Inferno as I panned to the wrong player. But that's okay. Nothing actually happened, and Inferno gets away. Alright, Chestnut with the push forward here, getting some deep vision. But all of this spotted out on the vision behind him. So not clearing out the enemy team effectively, but getting some deep vision of his own here. But Yoni with a nice clear will actually help with the darkness, and we can see a little bit of funnel. Llewell looking for this play as Fennel is going to try and find the engage. It's the invade here, topside, as Whittle is going to try and help his AD carry, but the turret shot bought a huge healing from Fennel. The flag and drag, Cataclysm in, and dunked goes the Silas. Nice connection there from the Zon mid lane. Alright, topside is the focus here as CGYM with a pretty substantial 60 CS lead, and TJ is just going to be forced off of wave here. Whittle spawning Herald bot side, and there's nobody down here with Fennel going down. Llewell could be caught out here, but they do not engage. They have to answer this, and the longer that they can force this fight topside, the more that Zon will win bot side. The unstoppable force down from TJ on, but it's the counter engage from our Sexy into the backline as Inferno is stunned. There's the ultimate coming out. The Feather Root doesn't actually stun any. Lowell and Inferno are still up, and TJ is frontlining, getting a lot of damage off. Finally, TJ will go down. Sion landing a nice stun knockup, and it is going to be a one fight for the Buckaroos. Man, that one just took forever. The health bars did not go down quickly. But at the end of the day, the Buckaroos do win that one out, and you can see how these fights are going to go. They're really going to be drawn out, and that means that every ability that you land is so impactful, because it could make the difference, you know. All right, Whittle had that decision there to go down. Dragon's Descent will be, you know, the important one that we have to watch out for in these team fights. Both these junglers up to 3 kills, and both of them building damage here. Already a Guardian Angel for Whittle Guy in game number 1, and our score 6 kills to 7 for the Zon Plague. Does look like our next dragon is in about a minute. Chestnut in. Getting some vision down for his team, trying to prep this dragon. Fennel with the Malphite ultimate stolen. They're going to roll in and see some of these wards that got placed. I think that control ward might have actually snuck through. Both of our teams. Positioning here for this dragon. I do think we're going to get an all-out 5v5 team fight. Alright, the Flagon Dragon onto Chestnut, and the engage comes forward. Here's the Sion ultimate onto the backline. Does land onto Yoni. Teleport channeled in, but already his team is deleted. The bot lane of Plague gone. Whittle is going to be forced to use his use his item here. Oh man, and what a win there, as CGYM took the initiative, and it's pings down onto the Baron. It does look like they're pretty split here. Fennel looking for the play. TJ with the unstoppable force down onto Fennel. They're finding quite a bit of damage back. Meanwhile, the rest of the Buckaroos are just straight in onto the Baron. A really nice engage there from CGYM in order to secure his team that win. Definitely showing some proficiency here on the Sion that we have not seen in previous weeks. He absolutely is dominating not only the matchup, but also the late game engages here. Alright, Dragon is still up, but that was a big Baron. This is now ballooned into a 4K gold lead, kind of somewhat out of nowhere. Teleport in from Lowell. TJ with no teleport top lane will be forced to roam down, whereas CGYM does have teleport. So Zon is going to go ahead and start this. Chestnut and Hope separated from our Sexy and Fennel on the other side of the map. Flag and drag down onto Chestnut. The root will come through. Here's the ultimate in from Sion. Dragon is taken from our Sexy while this goes through. Whittle Guy going all the way and will kill Hope, but on the backside, Yoni will drop. Now Whittle going down the flash forward to land the Q. Inferno trying to deal what damage. Both the damage dealers from the Plague able to survive to the end of the team fight. It's a double kill here for our Sexy, and it's a 3-for-2 as a scrappy brawl breaks out. But our Sexy opportunistic to find 2 kills and the dragon for the Buckaroos. I guess we were behind a little bit. I don't know how we got behind. There we go. I feel like Zon has... They've decided that the way for them to win fights is to engage onto the Leona and counter the Leona engage by killing Leona first. But Leona just has enough tanky defensive stats that has not worked 2 times in a row here. And I'm not sure that the amount of damage coming out of Zon is enough to warrant this kind of pick style of gameplay when they do much better looking for a Cataclysm into Unstoppable Force onto multiple carry members. So, you know, I do kind of expect, you know, that Wombo combo needs to come through for the Zon Plague if they want to find, you know, a way forward in the team fight in the mid game.
I told you to stand back.
Alright, CGYM still has 2 levels here on TJ. Really taking advantage in the matchup here. Arsexy looking for the engage now. Level 15 as the jungler. Definitely put the farm to good use here. Up to 200 farm at 24 minutes in. Gonna be looking, at this point, definitely ready to fight. So we see our teams get ready here. Arsexy now in onto Whittle, trying to make him pay for what he did on that level 2. And Arsexy is chasing down. There's the Dragon's Descent in onto Yoni. Yoni with a flash out. The crescendo away, but it's way too little. There's the ultimate down from Leona, but he will actually get over the wall as Arsexy flashes into the pit. Hope on the wrong side of his team, but the damage not coming through on that side. A stun onto Lowell from Chestnut as finally a shutdown will go through. They do find a second one as Hope will go down, so this is all for Yoni as the dive for Bandle City might have been too far. CGYM trying to buy some space for his team. Fennel did not join the team fight, and so the Fennel will get multiple plates on this top side tower. Lowell very low. Fennel could find an assassination angle, decides to dash away instead, and that gets multiple Barons. 3 Barons will go down from Bandle City. 13 to 12, really evening up the gold, evening up the kills. Dragon in a minute 15. Whittle gonna try and take the advantage, knowing that Shyvana is dead, not present on the map. It's gonna go in, try and get some of this farm. Inferno gonna, you know, he likes that idea. He'll go and do that for himself. Collect that red buff. So we do see some of these resets start to come through. Will Arsexy actually find anybody here? Inferno does cancel the reset. CGYM potentially able to find this engage, gets the ward down, but the rest of the team isn't there, so Inferno will escape. Did look questionable for a second, but Fennel now looking to find the solo kill onto Lowell. There's the damage, big chunk damage, flash forced out, the Weaver's Wall ultimate taken away, but Fennel will be happy just with the flash. Zenith Blade here from Chestnut landing onto Whittle Guy, but the flag and drag out, and he will escape. TJ now just cannot escape this play here. Teleport in from Fennel, and so all of them will be here. The Cataclysm onto the entire team, and there is the ultimate. Here's the Wombo combo that we were talking about. Massive Feather Storm damage through as 3 go down, and it's only the final 2 of Hope and CGYM as Zon sweeps through this fight. It's a 3rd, it's a 5th, it's a clean ace as Zon finds all 5 in the Wombo combo of dreams. What a play there. And they finally did. They pressed the buttons, guys. They did the comp. Oh my goodness. Let's get a replay here as that went down. That was exactly what we wanted to see. We'll watch Whittle Guy as he was the primary engage here for his team. That teleport came through. I'm going to slow it down here. There's that play. All of it coming through at the same time. The Feather Storm. And Lowell wasn't even here for this fight. And by the time that Lowell gets in, it's a 1 team fight. They basically won a 4 for 5. Because they just used everything the right way. Great play there. Alright, it's going to be... maybe I'm a little bit too far out. What do you think, guys? It's going to be Dragon into Baron. So a massive swing of events. As gold lead completely flips over. I think this is Zon's first gold lead, at least since the early game. All right, so we, if we're the side of Bandle City, we can absolutely stabilize here. We still have all of our tier 2s up. We know that Zon is gonna, you know, bounce back here. We should expect to lose a couple of tier 2s, but this could be about overloading a lane and finding a way to get Baron off a couple of these members. There are plenty of shutdowns now on the side of Zon. and their comp only works when they're all together. So TJ with 3 levels up on Fennel, the Q through to stun. We might actually see the solo kill down here. I do want to watch this, but they are fighting top lane. You got 2 fights happening at the same time. Our Sexy is here. The Dragon's Descent down onto Lowell as they are going to just look at the way they chunk that out, and it's a big shutdown going over. Yoni is here. They do teleport in TJ, so they will find CGYM, a flash in from Inferno as they commit everything. It's a double kill at the cost of their mid laner. But this is how they use Baron. So they've given up on the multi-lane push, and we did see Sivir and Leona able to push out mid. We see Fennel able to push out bot. So all of their Baron is going to be used on just continuing to siege here as they push down in this single lane. TJ taking multiple turret shots here, but given his tanky stats and the Sona shield and healing, still pretty healthy despite that. Alright. The reset comes through. How much Baron do we have left? Looks like we've got about a quarter of the Baron buff left. 2.5 minutes here until our dragon. Neither team on Soul Point, neither team on the 3rd dragon yet. So do need to see how much they prio this. I don't think the next dragon is of real great importance. However, Zon very happy to just go ahead and fight it out from this point on in the match. Oh, nice. Thanks for the follow, dude. Welcome to the LCC. Alright, we do see both of our teams preparing to battle it out here at this dragon. Fennel caught here as the dash out. Flag and drag down onto Fennel. Fennel knows there's no way out. You must go through, but will be burst down. Lowell chunked a little bit, but not enough to even pop Seraphs. And that is going to be the mid laner for the Buckaroos down before the fight. There's still 90 seconds on this dragon. No more Baron for Zon, but they should be able to find a siege now. They are going to begin to look. There are 4 mid for either team. We could see a 4v4 as the Dragon's Descent onto the backline. Inferno finds the ultimate out. It's a beautiful find, but our Sexy chunked low, chunked down. The Cataclysm down onto the back, flash forward. CGYM finding great value as Lowell will drop, but it's the Scion for the other team. Both tanks frontlining for their team. Can TJ get away? Hope fairly scaled up. The flag and drag through does not land. Chestnut landing a bit of a stun. Whittle diving forward very low, and Chestnut will drop. Whittle just able to survive as it's a 3-for-1, and Zon wins that team fight on the back of Fennel not being present. Definitely a costly fight here as Bandle City starting to see their win conditions slip away as Zon is just going to push down more and more of Bandle City's structures and towers. 15 seconds here, and it does look like Zon will probably want to reset, and this could be a good momentum swing for Bandle City if they're able to get out onto the map and force this dragon as soon as they spawn. We do see, given it's a Hextech map, we do see the Hextech portals being used here. Whittle trying to stop the back here, but it's a full back for the Zon Plague. Yoni actually has his back stopped, and so it does look like our Sexy and the Buckaroos, in constellation at least, will be able to win this 3rd dragon for them, and that's a great momentum play here for Bandle City. Just a bit of an overstay on the side of Zon, out on the map too long, and Bandle City takes advantage. Alright, 5k gold lead here for the Plague, but it's an extra dragon, and we do see a pause, and this is really exciting, guys, because we get to go ahead and kick it to the LCC pause, sponsored by Pause. Heck yeah, guys, let's go. Alright, and we are back with gameplay action here as it's an instant engage onto TJ. TJ had to flash out here, but CGYM and Fennel are there. They do force the unstoppable force out of TJ. So that is a win. They get flash and ult out of the Malphite here. As we see our necessary yet unenjoyed pause. And it's finally on unpause. Alright, Whittle pushing in, clearing out some vision. It looks like Baron about 10 seconds will be the focus here, but no flash, no ultimate for the Malphite. A nice job from Bandle City to get that key piece of engage. Key piece of the puzzle for Zon is on cooldown, but it does look like the back is going to be channeled from our Sexy, and they're not going to contest the Baron here, and Baron just will go down. This is going to be Baron being taken, and Zon quick to burn it. And they just, I'm not sure that was good back timing from our Sexy. Maybe he felt like he couldn't fight without that item, but it meant that his team kind of just, you know, watched them take Baron in front of him. And I think with everything up, knowing that the Malphite ultimate was on cooldown, that could have been a good fight opportunity for Bandle City. But now they'll be forced to turtle again. So next dragon is in 3 minutes. That is surely the win condition for Bandle City and the Buckaroos. Zonplague trying to find some more gold here with their split push. Still unable to actually crack the base open. Flag and Dragon from Whittle does have the level advantage back on our Sexy at this point, but they're fairly even at this point in the game. Level 16 from Fennel, the dash out. Will the Cataclysm land? Hunting indeed. TJ for his team could try and find the engage. Really, the primary engage come from anywhere. Inferno on the wrong side, and Hope also forcing Inferno out of this fight. You can tell that they're not comfortable with their positioning. But it's going to be a 5 versus 5 siege bot lane, as Baron for Zon will assist in their siege. Double cannon. Alright, both teams continuing the siege now. A big chunk down for Zon as they continue forward, and that will be turret down. And our Sexy chunked somewhat low here, so Bandle City perhaps not wanting to actually take this engage, but it does look like Lowell is going to split off here. Now, Weaver's Wall should mean he's able to get over, as another unpause comes through. Alright, as he's going to try and get some work done mid lane. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, they are getting it through here, and we'll actually back out. Take a look. He's going to Weaver's Wall away, so now there's no engage, and this should be an opportunity here for the engage onto the 4 of them. Lowell is not there. Fennel with a flash forward. Whittle guy trying to find what he can. Dragon's Descent down onto both of them in the back line. But Inferno does so much damage at this point. It's a double kill already for Inferno as 3 go down. Whittle split apart Hope and Chestnut, but the rest of the Buckaroos collapse. And it's a big teamfight win for Zon. And with Baron, I think they might be able to find a way forward here to actually end this game. Zon looking good here with a teamfight wombo combo. Pushing now onto the inhib. They're going to go for the second inhib, already gone. They're onto the Nexus towers. The engage here from Chestnut. This is a last-ditch effort, but there's not much that they can do. The Seismic Shove away. They will find the last 2. The Zon Plague with the ace, and they're going to pick up their second win of the evening. It's a victory for Zon Plague.